ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930 present The Drive.
It is Thursday, April 16th. Your drive begins now at ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. I'm your host, Paul Swann. Our text line this hour, it's brought to you by Clark's Pump and Shop. We're going to do that now at 304-396-TALK. That is 304-396-8255. So we'll do open text line throughout the rest of the show. Give you a chance to catch up with what's happening today. We had baseball action earlier today right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. And it was the Nationals beating the Pirates in 10 innings. So the Pirates failed to get the win and back at it, facing off against Tampa Bay. That's tomorrow. We're going to have a 6:20 p.m. airtime right here. Giants beat the Reds earlier today, 3-0. Cincinnati will open up a series at Minnesota tomorrow. That's going to be an 8:10 first pitch. And then later tonight is going to be the Orioles at Guardians. That's coming up tonight at 6:10 p.m. I'm going to be, of course, keeping an eye on a lot of things on the ice because tonight is the final night of the regular season of the National Hockey League, and then the playoffs will begin. Of course, we got play-in action as well from the NBA, so a lot happening over the next few weeks. Of course, playoff hockey is one of my favorite brands of playoff sports. Basketball is looking pretty good as well, so we've got a lot to get excited about over the next few weeks. Something we can get excited about is how about the Thundering Herd baseball team? How about Greg Beals going up to Columbus? Marshall getting a win over his former team, Ohio State, 11-7. That was pretty impressive. It was a 6-2 deficit at one point, and the Herd rallies and wins that one 11-7. So the Herd gets a win against a Big Ten team, against Ohio State, makes it a little bit more meaningful as Beals, former coach of the Ohio State Buckeyes. The softball team, unfortunately, not getting it done. I hate that. We had a streak going, didn't last though, as Ohio, of all schools, Ohio gets the win over the Marshall softball team. So the Thundering Herd back at it this weekend, and of course, Sunbelt play means a little bit more, but still, you hate to lose, even if it is just one of those midweek one-off games. It's Ohio. You don't like losing to Ohio. You hate losing to Ohio. And if you don't hate losing to Ohio, give us a few hours. We'll get you caught up on reasons why you should hate losing to Ohio. Speaking of what's happening this weekend, the Marshall University tennis team is getting ready for its senior day, and that's going to be tomorrow against another team that you should, as a Herd fan, hate. Now, I know hate is a strong word, but still, we can make room for it. It's the Herd and the Miami Redhawks. That's going to be at the Brian David Fox Tennis Center tomorrow. So, Thundering Herd in action on the tennis court, taking on Miami. That's an important one. Got to get ready for conference, but still, tennis team right now 11-10. Tennis team always plays a real tough schedule, though. That's one thing I can say about this team. The record might not always be, single digits in the loss column, but they play really strong, really tough schedule, trying to get ready for tournament play. So we'll get your text in. We'll do that here in just a minute. Again, that's 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Also, we've got basketball portal news to tell you about. Nothing on the men's side, but we do have women's portal news to tell you about. So we'll get your text lined up. Let's do that here in just a moment. And we'll also get you caught up on what's happening with Julie Folks' team. We'll do that when we continue on this edition of Your Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Hurt at work? Warner Law Offices is now here for you in Huntington on 4th Avenue, across from the courthouse. Personal, local, decades of experience.
Call 345-678-9.
Grab the mic and bring the fun to the Marshall Hall of Fame Cafe. Introducing Mike Night at the Marshall Cafe, our brand new karaoke night. It's the first Saturday of every month from 9 to 11. Whether you're a total superstar or a shower singer who just loves to have fun, this night is for you. Sing loud, laugh hard, and make a night of it at the Marshall Hall of Fame Cafe. Mike Night, where everyone's a headliner, at the Marshall Hall of Fame Cafe on the corner of Fun and 3rd Avenue, across from Pullman Square.
Here's another Kindred Communication Community Chatter. Marshall University's Huntington Alumni Chapter is hosting its 2026 Golf Tournament fundraiser. This raises money for scholarships for future Marshall students. This will be at Creekside Golf Course Friday, June 26th. Registration 7 a.m. Call Gene Chapin at 304-360-1023 to sign up.
This Kindred Communications Community Chatter brought to you by Kentucky Farmers Bank, a better bank in Summit, Ashland, Catlettsburg, Louisa, and Wheelersburg. Online at kfb.bank.
Looking for midweek fun? Head to Frank's Place, where every night's a party. Wednesdays are full of brains and brews with trivia night. Grab your crew and show off what you know. Thursdays, crank it up with Singo Bingo. Music meets bingo for prizes and laughs. Then Fridays, we hand you the mic for karaoke night. Sing your heart out and start your weekend right. The fun never stops at Frank's Place. Great drinks, great friends, and good times. Frank's Place, located at the River Place Plaza, next to Fratelli's. Check them out on Facebook for weekly updates and specials. Frank's Place, your home away from home.
Breaking news for your home. Wayday. Wayfair's big sale is almost here, and you can score the best deals in home. Like up to 80% off everything home. Yes, you heard that right. 80% off with free shipping on everything. Plus surprise flash deals all Wayday long. We're talking outdoor furniture and essentials, rugs, and more. All at Wayfair, and all up to 80% off during Wayday. Shop Wayfair's Wayday from April 25th through 27th.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like a warehouse operations manager.
Where are the forklifts?
Sold them. Too expensive. We're using scooters now.
So you expect us to move a 2-ton pallet on a scooter?
Just lean into it. Put your back into it, people.
This is a job for sponsored jobs. This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
Welcome back to The Cat Show. Up next, we have Nico. Nico is a member of the Shelter Pet Group.
That's right. A group known especially for their sunspot sleeping, ball chasing, leg rubbing, couch purring, bed leaping, and of course, companionship.
Wonderful. And what breed would you say Nico is?
I'd have to go with a tabbyish Persian kind of mix.
Tremendous cat.
I'd also like to point out her coat's wonderful mix of colors. Is it black, gray, black, brown?
Somewhere in between.
Indeed.
You know, it's always special when we get to see a cat like this.
Just look how she struts.
It's like she owns the place.
And how she's so incredibly cute in her indifference to commands.
A strong-willed feline.
Ah, and see how she curls up and cuddles her person.
The pitch on her purring is simply perfect.
Nice one.
I know. Fantastic cat.
Fantastic indeed. But really the best way to know an amazing shelter pet like Nico is to meet one.
Visit theshelterpetproject.org today. Adopt. Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
When I grow up, I want to be a new pair of blue jeans.
When I grow up, I want to be a kid's first computer.
When I grow up, I don't want to be a piece of garbage. And if you recycle me, I won't be.
Give your garbage another life. Recycle. Learn how at iwanttoberecycled.org. Brought to you by Keep America Beautiful and the Ad Council.
This is The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Follow at Paul Swann on X for Marshall sports updates and more.
Text line is now open, brought to you by Clark's Pump and Shop at 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. This is The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Some good news for Marshall basketball. We got one a couple of days ago, and we got one today. Talk about, first up, Maddie Moody. She is out of the Horizon League from Kettering, Ohio. She makes her commitment to Marshall today. She averaged 10 points, 6.5 rebounds. She also had 22 steals and 19 blocks in 29 games as a freshman for Northern Kentucky. She ranked in the Horizon League top 5 for rebounding. And she also was in double digits 18 times. Now, Northern Kentucky, finished 15-17 last season and did lose to Marshall 68-53 in the opener. Moody had 7 points, she had 7 rebounds, and she did block 3 shots in that game. So Marshall's familiar with her, Julie Folks, adding some familiar faces, right? Some familiarity here. And then we talked about Cassie Gallagher from South Carolina Upstate. She was second team All Big South. She's 5'11", she averages a lot of points, over 15, almost 16. And she brings down an average of 3.2 rebounds. She did that in 31 games. Shot 39.8% from range. She had a career-high game against Morehead State last season, 35 points, 7 three-pointers in that game. And if you remember, USC Upstate also played Marshall, lost that one, 85-54. But Gallagher had a team-high 11 points for the Spartans. Now, USC Upstate finished a disappointing 12-20 last season. So it's interesting there, and again, it could be just these players were in the transfer portal, had some instant familiarity with Marshall because of the matchup, or Julie Folks was like, okay, I've seen these ladies in action. I was impressed with them. They're in the portal now. I have some familiarity here, and I'm not afraid to bring them on. I don't know if that's how smooth it's going to go for the Marshall women, adding players from the portal, but it looks like so far, so good for Coach Folks. She's been doing a really fantastic job. And I'm not surprised by that. With her background, her career, her contacts, who doesn't she know? She ran successful camps. Those were highly attended. They were year in and year out one of the highlights for a lot of the attendees. Looking forward to going to her camps. And she built up this reputation, and she also built up this network. So as far as her ability to bring players in, I don't question it at all. And I think it's a strength for her. And now she can back that up like, hey, I've got several years here. I'm not dipping out of here anytime soon. I'm good. Hey, look, we were really competitive in the Sun Belt, fell short, but we got a second chance when we were healthy. We were able to run this WNIT. We won our final game, won this championship. The trophy is pretty hefty looking. It's not small by any stretch of the imagination. It's a nice-looking piece of hardware, and so you can display that and show that off a little bit. Absolutely a good time for Marshall women's basketball. Now, it's been quiet on the men's side, but I'm not surprised by that. And that's going to be a different beast there. And we'll probably see some activity. There are so many players in the portal right now. You just don't throw a dart and go, hey, give me a few. All right, that looks good. Let's go get them. I think it's going to take a process to just figure out who works, who fits, vetting some of these players. And the only at least publicly announced or at least publicly acknowledged commitment for the Thundering Herd is Boubacar Jigo, who is 6'8" and 237 pounds. And he's transferring out of Concord. So, again, some familiarity there. There's a way to vet him. Coach Jackson can find out more about him a little bit closer to home, right? Cleveland, Ohio product, going to Concord now, playing with the Thundering Herd. Now, I've seen a few landing spots for former Herd players, and I don't know if I'm really interested in where they're at, only because, and I don't say that with any malice, it's just they're gone. They're absolutely gone. They're out of the system now. They're not with the Thundering Herd. It's interesting, though, because you look at some of the places that they're going, and first up, just to be quite honest with you here, Ryan Nutter going to Lincoln Memorial, okay, that looks like a good fit. Caleb Holenbeck is going to Tennessee Tech. Is that a lateral or is that an upgrade? And I'm not going to say anything bad about Austin Peay. Shamari Hughie's going there. And you still have guys like Kai Spears, Caden White, Landon Joseph, Andrew Fuquay all in the portal. So they're yet to be homed again. They haven't been rehomed yet, looking at some of the options. And then since we're talking about men's basketball, I don't know if you saw this, but Wyatt Fricks got to participate in a pre-draft workout, and he got to do that for the New York Knicks. And he also has an invitation to the Portsmouth Invitational. That's in Portsmouth, Virginia. Now, only basketball seniors, only college basketball seniors can come to that camp. And it's also what is considered to be like an NBA pre-draft camp. So there's some conversation going on. Wyatt Fricks has got some conversation going on. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. If Wyatt Fricks was picked up either as a free agent, I don't know if draft night, we're going to hear Wyatt Fricks' name, but if the Knicks would pick him up, I'd be all for that. Absolutely. Not just because he got to go to an NBA team. It's because of the NBA teams that I like to watch, it's Lakers and Knicks, pretty much. Those are my two. And the way the Lakers are playing right now, and just they haven't been able to get that thing straight in I don't know how many years. I'm going to stick with the Knicks here. Much better brand of basketball and more fun, right? Or at least for me it is. So Wyatt Fricks getting a look for the Knicks? Yeah, I'm all about that right now. So congratulations to him. Hopefully he's going to make an impact. And this is an event that also featured at one point Tavion Kinsey, Deshaun Butler, John Elmore got invited to this thing as well. So there are some names that have come out of this thing. There are some opportunities to be had, especially for a guy like Fricks who has kind of worked his way up, busted his butt, and now he's getting some attention. So there's some serious attention. You don't just get invited to this. And it might not be an NBA invite after all. It could be he might go to developmental league. Still an opportunity for him though. And I think of everyone that's pretty much left Marshall, I think he's going to have the most opportunity, at least short term. But I'm excited for him because that means that somebody noticed him. Somebody noticed Marshall basketball just a little bit. And if he can get some traction somewhere, then that's going to be a nice little, and I'm not going to say it's going to be a feather in the cap of Coach Jackson, but that's going to be a nice little thing that, Coach Jackson can smile about. Say, hey, Wyatt Fricks did it the right way, and look where he's at now. Perseverance paid off, and he's finding a journey to the pro ranks. I mean, you can always embellish the story a little bit. Still, you get what I'm saying here. You've got a victory here. If he's getting invited to a couple of things, and of course, if I'm on social, working the herd accounts, I'm making sure that I'm chronicling all of that. I mean, there have been guys that have come out of this camp, and they have been in the NBA. 304-396-TALK is our text line, 304-396-8255. Texter says, Paul, do you really think that Fricks can go to the association? I'm not saying he can't. Appreciate the text. I'm not saying that he can't. You don't have to be the first or second round pick. You can always pick up, a contract with a team and you can be a support player. And there's nothing wrong with that. You can be a guy that comes off the bench. You don't have to be the guy. Because really, for most NBA teams, there's like one or two really standout teams, and then everybody else is in a support role for the most part. And if he can land in the association, I'm here for it. If not, and he's in the developmental league, that's a good place to be as well. Work your way up. International play, he can play overseas. That could be a definite option for a lot of these guys. I follow Shaq Johnson to this day, and I watch his career from afar. And every time I turn around, he's doing something, and he's having success, and he looks like he's living his best life, and I'm happy for him. And so that could be a career for Wyatt Fricks. I mean, let's try this NBA thing first. Again, he got to work out for the New York Knicks. That's not shabby. That's not shabby at all. Our text line, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. More on this edition of Your Drive, ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Buddy's All-American Barbecue now delivers straight to your door. Wings, ribs, brisket, and more. Order online at WVBBQ.com. Great barbecue, ice-cold beer, and killer wings. All without leaving your couch. Buddy's All-American Barbecue, 3rd Avenue in Huntington.
At Poca Valley Bank, a handshake can still mean the start of a great relationship. We've been greeting customers with a handshake since 1908. Why settle for less? If you're purchasing your first home or planning for your future, Poca Valley Bank is here to support you with personalized service and local expertise. They are your trusted advisors. Why settle for less when you can experience banking with a team that truly cares? Poca Valley Bank, where relationships matter. Visit PocaValleyBank.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Save big money on your bathroom update at Menards. Transform your bathroom with a stunning new vanity from Magic Woods. With many options to choose from, our vanities combine contemporary style with durable materials. Find the ideal piece to create the bathroom you've always wanted. From stylish and elegant to simple and modern, save big money on Magic Woods vanities at Menards. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all our great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
What if confidence wasn't something you wished for, but something you felt every time you looked in the mirror? At Alchemy Aesthetics, beauty is backed by science, transforming the ordinary into the extraordinary. From Botox, lip filler, and facial filler to advanced skincare treatments and rejuvenating facials to enhance your natural glow. At Alchemy Aesthetics, it's not about changing who you are, it's about revealing your best self. Book your consultations today, 114 South 2nd Street, Ironton, where beauty becomes confidence.
Mike Rowe here with another random fact. Those cracks on your walls aren't just cosmetic. They could mean your home is sinking. Whether it's drywall cracks, exterior cracks, or sticking doors or windows, do yourself a favor. Call Groundworks. I spent some time working with these guys, and they're the real deal. Their people are trained and certified to stabilize your foundation. Baker's Waterproofing and Basement Authority of West Virginia are now Groundworks. Schedule a free inspection.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Save big money on all of your outdoor projects at Menards. Create stunning patios and walkways with our huge in-stock selection of durable concrete blocks. Ready to take home today. Plus, get free estimates fast with our easy-to-use design program in-store or on Menards.com. Save big money on our 16-inch brick face, cobblestone or lakestone patio blocks on sale now. Plus, check out our flyer on Menards.com for more great deals happening this week.
Save big money at Menards.
There are no words to describe it. The isolation, the boredom, the loneliness. If you're wondering where your teenage son or daughter's spirit went, you're hardly alone. The past year has been devastating, especially for them. But here's the good news. They might just find it again, playing high school sports. Workouts that stimulate, teammates and coaches that care. The sense of belonging so many of us have been missing lately. That's what school sports are all about. The sense of achievement is real, and the camaraderie is hard to beat. Coping with uncertainty is difficult, but school sports can help the teenagers in your family start feeling like themselves again. Encourage them to give it a try. High school sports. It's so much more than a game.
This message presented by the West Virginia Secondary School Activities Commission and the West Virginia Athletic Directors Association.
How can I help my daughter with her reading?
Searching for help with Dachshund reading.
No.
Let me try. Sarah's bright, but when she's reading, she has trouble sounding out words.
Playing world music.
What?
I give up.
Wait, I was trying to show you how Sarah feels every day. Redirecting to understood.org.
Join parents and experts at understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues to help your child thrive.
Brought to you by understood.org and the Ad Council.
This is The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Miss an episode? Catch it anytime on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
We continue with this Thursday edition of Your Drive here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. I'm your host, Paul Swann. Our text line this hour brought to you by Clark's Pump and Shop at 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Texter writes in, and again, all questions, all topics are welcome. I will edit if I need to, but everything is welcome. Texter says, Paul, what are your WrestleMania predictions for the weekend? Okay, I'm going to go there. I appreciate the text. Thank you. All right, let's see. I'm gonna take Randy Orton over Cody Rhodes for the undisputed WWE Championship. I think that this entire Pat McAfee story is garbage, but I look for Orton to get his 15th World Championship to put him in third place, catching up to Ric Flair, and then maybe he can get up there with John Cena. And Cody hasn't won a pay-per-view, a premium live event in a while, so I'm going to take Randy Orton there. Women's match between Stephanie Vaquer and Liv Morgan. I like Stephanie Vaquer, but I think it's going to be Liv Morgan. I think AJ Lee retains over Becky Lynch. I am going to say that it's going to be for the tag team championship. I like Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. Jacob Fatu walks all over Drew McIntyre. I don't see Seth Rollins taking a loss to Gunther, so I'm going to say Seth Rollins there. And this is WrestleMania season, so something stupid will happen. So Logan Paul, Austin Theory, and ISHO Speed will get the win over the Usos and LA Knight. I think Roman Reigns gets the win over CM Punk. I think there will be some outside interference in this one, which will set up some storylines. I think Rhea Ripley is beating Jade Cargill. Rhea's just a better champion, but they have surrounded Jade with other talent that can take the fall for her and actually do the promo cutting. I am going to say Penta retains the Intercontinental Championship. Penta is hot right now, even though he's going up against some really strong competition there, some future faces of the Federation, the E. Let's see. Sami Zayn will retain the United States Championship over Trick Williams, setting up the heel run of Sami Zayn. And I think one that we're all really looking forward to, it's going to be Brock Lesnar. I think he'll put Obafemi over. If you know anything about professional wrestling, and if you don't, that's completely fine. But I think Brock puts Obafemi over because Oba is the next big thing. He's the next beast. And Brock's been really good about maintaining his beast invincibility, but doing the job at the right time. I like Obafemi. But again, they could throw some curveballs at us. And I'm going to take Finn Balor over Dominic Mysterio. Dirty Dom does not get the win over Finn Balor. All right, these are all unjustified picks. 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. And yes, I think Cody Rhodes will still stay a face, not a heel. See, I told you, we'll do all questions. We'll take them all. Absolutely. Wrestling included. Texter wants to know, Paul, why do you think that Marshall hasn't had more announcements yet for portal commits? I think because, and I appreciate the text, I think because there's a lot of names out there right now, and I think you got to do your due diligence. You got to go out there and find guys that really fit what you're trying to do. And you're also looking at a system where there could be some really talented players out there that might come to Marshall, but depending on what they're looking for, it could be a little bit more of a difficult ask because what's your NIL look like? What do I get out of this? And I don't think you come to Marshall necessarily for NIL. Now, that could change in the future, but I don't think that you're going to win too many NIL battles right now with the basketball program. So you're looking at potentially bringing in talented players that know this is an opportunity, maybe not looking necessarily for that NIL, realize that they could do something good at Marshall, can maybe make a name for themselves and then go get that bag. Who knows? So I think there's a lot of factors into it. I'm not really concerned right now that there's only one on the books commit for the Thundering Herd. I think we'll get some names soon. We'll see it on social, absolutely. 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255 is the number to be a part of today's show here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Texture says, Tennessee Tech is not an upgrade from Marshall. Appreciate the text referencing Caleb Holenbeck committing to Tennessee Tech. Just looking over your text now, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Texter says, Paul, do you think that the loss to Ohio will hurt Marshall's ranking in the D1 softball poll? Not necessarily. It's a one-off. I think if Marshall goes out, wins the series this weekend, it'll be fine. Playing host to South Alabama, that's starting Friday at 6. I think the Herd will be fine there. Win the Sun Belt. I mean, I want the ranking. Absolutely, I want the rankings, but win the Sun Belt. Win the Sun Belt. Maybe outside chance of hosting. Maybe some things will have to happen, of course, to make that a reality. But still, win the tournament. Win the regular season. Get yourself in a good spot to win the tournament. And I think the rankings will follow. And Ohio's not a bad team, to be fair. It's a rivalry. It should be, at least. In my mind, it's a rivalry. Every sport should play, no matter what. Football, everything. If Marshall had a serious go at club hockey, Marshall should play Ohio in club hockey, everything. And I know there's that group that's trying to put together some funding to kind of get club hockey going, and those folks have approached us, and I'll see if we can get them on in the future. But just looking at it from a standpoint, I know we've gotten off into like a slight deviation here, but looking at it from the standpoint is, would you support club hockey and the Herd plays club hockey in South Charleston? The group that will field the ice or hit the ice eventually, if they can pull it off, would you support club hockey? And you got to travel. I mean, now if you're in South Charleston, you're fine. But would you support a club hockey team or a club team the same way you would an official sport at Marshall University? That's a good question. I'll ask that. That could be our impromptu question of the day. Would you support club hockey financially? Not, hey, that's a cool idea, but would you support financial donations? Would you give them substantial money to play club hockey? And the ice surface would be in South Charleston. There would not be an ice surface in Huntington anytime soon. It would not be played in Huntington. I don't know if it would be truly affiliated with club hockey or it would just be a club playing hockey, because you have the American Collegiate Hockey Association. You have some other groups that you can get into. And so is it worth your energy to support something like that? 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. More coming up on today's edition of The Drive, ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Metro Community Federal Credit Union now brings you all the tech that big banks have, but still has that personal touch of a member-owned community credit union. Apple Pay? Got it. Digital wallet? Yep. Message pay by text, online loan payments, even chatting with a real person, not a bot. Open accounts, sign documents, and manage your money all online. It's the big bank tech you need from the local community-minded credit union you trust. Metro Community FCU. Visit metrocommunityfcu.com today.
Stuck in a state of falling behind, struggling to keep up with kids, finances, insurance, and life? Well, let your State Farm agent help you simplify and get to a better state. With State Farm handling your auto, home, and life insurance, you'll have more time to handle everything else. More money, too. Adding State Farm policies can earn discounts that could add up to 40% and help you get ahead. Call an agent today and get to a better state with State Farm. In Huntington, John Garden, 304-525-1116. And in Barbersville, Marcia Slater, 304-736-6100.
Looking for midweek fun? Head to Frank's Place, where every night's a party. Wednesdays are full of brains and brews with trivia night. Grab your crew and show off what you know. Thursdays, crank it up with Singo Bingo. Music meets bingo for prizes and laughs. Then Fridays, we hand you the mic for karaoke night. Sing your heart out and start your weekend right. The fun never stops at Frank's Place. Great drinks, great friends, and good times. Frank's Place, located at the River Place Plaza, next to Fratelli's. Check them out on Facebook for weekly updates and specials. Frank's Place, your home away from home.
How was your break? It was great until I stopped for gas. Prices have gone up almost $1 with no end in sight. I might have to start watching how much I drive.
That's exactly why I use Upside. I never pay full price for gas with the free Upside app.
Upside?
Yes, Upside. It's the free app that gives you cash back just for buying the gas you're already buying. So, even with the rising gas prices, I'll never have to limit how much I drive.
Does that actually add up to anything?
Just last year, I made over $200 with the Upside app.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app right now.
Download the free Upside app to earn cash back on the gas you're already buying. Use promo code MULTIPLY25 for an extra 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank account, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code MULTIPLY25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first fill-up. That's MULTIPLY25.
Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
Ranger Station, Ranger speaking.
Hi. I'd like to report a bear hug.
Okay.
Well, before I left my campsite, I was putting out my fire, and out of nowhere, Smokey Bear showed up and hugged me?
So you drowned the fire, you stirred it, drowned it again, and felt that it was cold?
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah. He likes it when people correctly put out their campfires. He's pretty big on wildfire prevention. He's just letting you know you did good with a hug. He's a hugger.
I just got a bear hug from Smokey Bear. Status update!
All right, I'm going to let you go now. I've got a lot of ranger stuff to do. There are many ways to start a fire, but one sure way to put it out. Learn how you can do your part at SmokeyBear.com.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Sponsored by the U.S. Forest Service Ad Council and your state forester.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kristen Bell, and I invited you here to my hotel room to talk about your cheeks. Your big, beautiful cheeks. Get your mind out of the gutter. I'm talking about swabbing them. Did you guys know that each year 20,000 Americans with blood cancer are searching for their life-saving marrow match? Can you even believe that? I mean, people need marrow, you guys, and we have it. So here's how we can help. It's really, really simple. All you have to do is swab your cheek, this cheek. Then go to Gift of Life Marrow Registry. It's so easy, anyone can do it. And in case you're wondering, if you're a match, donating, it's a lot easier than you think. So wherever you are, go ahead and swab that cheek. Go to giftoflife.org and get a free kit sent to your home, or find a donor drive in your area so that you can swab a cheek and save a life. It's only a minute of your time, but it can give someone else the rest of their life.
Hi, this is Dave Wilson, host of Metro News Talkline, and you're listening to The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Thank you, Dave. Don't forget, coming up tomorrow, 10:06 a.m., it is Metro News Talkline. Steam release, last half hour of the show. Get it off your chest with Dave. That's coming up tomorrow right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Our text line is 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. We don't need a one day a week for Steam release. We do that every day here on the program. And again, our text line brought to you by Clark's Pump and Shop. I left you with the question as I got sidetracked a little bit talking about some of the things that are happening. And I know that club hockey is now trying to be a thing. At least a group of students are trying to bring it back at Marshall University. Here's the kicker on this, though. Right now, ice is the big thing. We're going to play that at. Where's that going to go? Well, South Charleston. You're looking for an ice surface. You got to go to South Charleston. You can't host games in Huntington right now. And so this isn't an official sport. This isn't. It's not an official student organization just yet. There's nothing official about it. It's in that, hey, we're trying to get money together phase right now to buy things like sticks and pucks and all the other things you need for a hockey team. And, of course, pay for the ice. You got to pay for the rink. So you would be paying for rentals at the rink. You would be paying for equipment. You would be paying for everything, probably travel too. You'd be paying for all of that. It would probably be completely donor funded, looking for sponsorship opportunities, I'm sure. Is that something you would jump on board? Would you sponsor something like that, knowing that it's not directly associated with the athletic department? I mean, it sounds cool. Hey, let's get club hockey back. Cool. Who's paying for that, though? And I'm asking you because would you rather, if you're going to make donations, would you rather support Marshall directly and hope that your donation will help the program, be it basketball, soccer, football, track and field, tennis, that your efforts help Marshall directly, the athletic department, in recruiting? Or would you peel off some of that donation money and put it towards a club sport? One that doesn't have a playing surface in Huntington, one that would be totally funded by either sponsors or you, for the most part. You would be buying these kids sticks. You'd be buying these kids gloves. You'd be buying the helmets, the gloves, the masks. You'd be buying all that stuff, funding it. And with events not hosted in Huntington at this moment, unless there's an ice surface, being proposed that's going to be built in Huntington, which I think would be actually very beneficial to quality of life here in Huntington. But still, would you support something like that? Texture says, no, it sounds like beer league to me. Appreciate the thoughts. Now, I don't know if it would be beer league. I don't know how good it would be, but it would definitely, I don't think it would be beer league. Beer league's a bunch of guys getting together, and depending on the level of how these guys get together, you have some that take it way too serious, and you have some that just go out there to have a good time, have some fun, and play, and then beer league. You get it. Yeah, I get it. Texture says, why would I support something that doesn't directly lead to championships for the athletic department? Okay, appreciate the thoughts. I mean, that's my question. I mean, I appreciate you saying that, because a lot of people are asking for your money. Right now, a lot of people are asking for your money. You only have so much. Your rent's due, your mortgage is due, your car payment's due, electricity bills due, gas is due, all that's due, food. You got to pay for food. You got to pay for all that. And, of course, if you're supporting the Thundering Herd, and if you're at a financial level where you can do that, you don't feel the pinch the way that a lot of people do. But there's still, as we were talking to Ryan Crisp yesterday, and he said this, hey, look, we get it. There's donor fatigue. We're looking for ways that people can support us in their everyday life. And then I asked the question, would you want to support something like a club sport at Marshall University? It wouldn't be sanctioned by the athletic department. It wouldn't be an athletic department sport. Instead, it would be, maybe a recognized student group at Marshall University. But the kick here is you'd have to, unless it's an easy trip for you. I mean, for some, I don't know, hop, skip, and a jump, and here you go. We're going to South Charleston. You'd have to travel to go see a game. If you're not in Huntington, if you're elsewhere, it's not a big deal. But you're paying for basically, your ticket isn't just getting you in the door. Yeah, you're paying your ticket. Okay, I'm going to see the team play. That's cool. But instead, without you, they don't have the ice time. They don't have the practice time. They don't have the equipment or the travel funding and everything. And Marshall fans just got swim and dive back, and now it's looking for support. And not to pour cold water over these kids, but would this be something that seems reasonable, feasible to ask, hey, we want to play hockey and we want to do it wearing a Marshall jersey, so we want to be the Marshall Club hockey team. We need your money. And I don't know how many people are really willing to do that. I mean, you might have some that would do that, and they're not even affiliated with Marshall. They just like hockey. And you might have some that will do it because they love Marshall. They think, hey, this would be a great idea, anything for Marshall. But with the athletic budget being what it is, with funds being what they are, and you're trying to, as a supporter of Marshall University, make sound decisions. I want to support the university. I want to support the athletic teams. And then you have a push for something that's not part of the athletic department. Would you even give it a second thought? Texter says if they want to play hockey, they should pay for it themselves. Appreciate that text. I mean, if you want to play hockey, and I get it. If you like hockey and you want to play it and there's not many opportunities around here, you're going to have to go elsewhere for that. Or, if you can find the funding and get somebody to go on the hook for this. And then the last time that this thing was around, it didn't last long enough. It wasn't around long enough, and it didn't last. And you don't know how good it's going to be on a year-to-year basis. It's basically, hey, we'll take everybody. It's one of those things. And it's fun. It's a great activity. Absolutely. It would be really nice to have an opportunity to go watch, maybe even for fun. Hey, let's go watch a hockey game. But, I just don't know if it's really feasible. And again, I'm going to get those guys on, let them actually have a moment to sell me on that. But I'm not sold. And if I'm not sold, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I'd be the one I would probably be the easiest one to sell that on. Like, hey, here's a guy that loves this stuff, and so we can't get him sold on it. What are we doing wrong? And of course, nobody's doing anything wrong. It's just, the question has to be asked, where are your priorities when you are donating, when you're putting up your funding to support things connected to Marshall University? The university, you support the university, or you support the athletic programs. And sometimes you have people that will never support the university, just support the athletic programs. And you have people that will support the university only or the athletic department only, never cross. And then you have people that do both. And so now you have students that are looking to form a new student group at Marshall University and try to be a little professional about it, trying to figure out how to raise the funds. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, how is this sustainable? Does this get Coach Jackson? If I take money away from Coach Jackson, that's one kid that might not come to Marshall because Coach Jackson didn't have an NIL money, or Coach Folks wasn't able to match somebody because people are spread thin with their donating. We'll get your thoughts on that. This will be something that will come back. 304-396-TALK is always the text line. 304-396-8255. I'll be back with you tomorrow here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Until then, have a great rest of your evening, everyone.
WRBC Huntington, W227BS Huntington, your flagship home of the Marshall Thundering Herd and The Drive with Paul Swann, ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.